While Cowboys-Lions, Texans-Chiefs have major playoff implications with all four on the outside looking in. We'll get all of those covered in 5 games. It's okay. According to ESPN Analytics, with a win, the Cowboys' playoff chances improved to 36%, while a loss drops them down to just 8%. For the Lions, a win puts them at 55%, but a loss has them at 22%. The Cowboys have won 3 straight since their Week 10 bye and have allowed less than 22 points per game over that span. In the first 9 weeks of the season, they were allowing over 30 points per game. And the Lions, on the other hand, they've gone 500 since Week 10 and find themselves outside of the playoff picture. Detroit has made the postseason in back-to-back seasons, but owes just a 42% chance to make the playoffs. That, according to ESPN Analytics. You got that? Got it good?
I got it all.
Numbers were
all
just, they were just spat at the viewer right there. That's senior NFL insider Jeremy Fowler. Hey, one of the stories we keep watching now, Amon-Ra St. Brown and the health of that ankle. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Matt, this is shaping up to be a game-time decision. I expect that the Lions will at least leave the light on slightly for Amon-Ra St. Brown, not rule him out of the game outright. They are practicing today, so he's going to be going on minimal to no practice time, most likely on that ankle issue. It's not a high ankle sprain, so Dan Campbell said it best. If anybody can work his way back in a short turnaround, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they're going to hope for the best. Not ruled out yet. We'll see where this goes. And then the Lions, Matt, I can tell you, talking to people over there in Detroit this week, you can feel the wear and tear with that team right now in the locker room. Like, they're trying to deal with this in real time. You see Taylor Decker, DNP Tuesday with a shoulder. Same with Penei Sewell. Both those guys are going to try to put themselves in a position to play, but we'll see what shakes out today. Kirby Joseph been dealing with a nagging knee issue for really the entire season. I'm told that he's a long shot for this week, but is hopeful for next week. And then Brian Branch there, he's at least trending somewhat upward leading up to this game.
Secondary's been banged up all year. They've been rolling dice through that secondary. Eventually, Jeremy, as we know at this stage of the season, the injuries are going to catch up with you. By the way, they're looking to avoid their first losing streak since 2022. The Lions.
A great run.
It doesn't give a damn. Steelers-Ravens meet Sunday with first place in the AFC North on the line. This is their first meeting since the Ravens beat the Steelers in last season's wild card. Both Pittsburgh and Baltimore stand at 6-6. Looking to rebound from the losses, the Steelers' chances to win the division could take the biggest hit between the two teams. The loss drops Pittsburgh's chances to 19%. The Ravens are favored to win the division, Matt, according to DraftKings. Boy, do we have this thing covered with a trio of all-stars. Brooke Pryor, Jamison Hensley, and Harry Douglas. Brooke, I want to start with you. Out in the elements in Pittsburgh, that's when you know you're a real Pittsburgh reporter. What can you share about the Steelers looking to turn things around in this pivotal matchup?
Well, Matt, the Steelers are operating with 3 words: sense of urgency. They're 2 fingers under the mitten, I promise. And this is a team that understands where they are. Yes, they are tied for first in the division with the Ravens, but they're in the middle of a massive skid, right? They've lost 5 of the last 6. I was just out at practice. I could see in their words and their actions that there was this sense of urgency and this energy. And I also saw that in the moves they made yesterday. They moved on from cornerback Darius Slay, who is one of their corner piece additions in free agency. They promoted Asante Samuel Jr., and they laid a claim and were successful with that claim in acquiring Adam Thielen, the wide receiver, adding to the pass catchers. Happy birthday, Aaron Rodgers. They got you a wide receiver. Thielen is in the building today. And by the way, there is a lot of noise happening outside the building. We heard the noise at the game on Sunday, the Fire Tomlin chants. We asked the players what they thought about that, specifically Jack Sawyer, who knows a thing or two when he was at Ohio State about fans calling to fire Ryan Day. We asked him what he thought about those chants, and he said, look, it's BS. He said, as players, we have to take ownership. We have to raise our standard. So this is a team that is still supporting its head coach.
Yeah, we'll see if the team comes together and gets a huge win. And speaking of Tomlin, we know there's been noise, and his former quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, actually had this to say about his former head coach on his Footballin' podcast.
It's being talked about around here a lot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it is. Maybe it's time. And I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin. But maybe it's best for him too. Sure. Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Whether that's in the pros, whether maybe go be Penn State's head coach. You know what he would do at Penn State? He'd probably go win national championships.
You know, speaking of Penn State, today's signing day, did you know Penn State's got the lowest ranked recruiting class in the country because they don't have a head coach? Anyway, Harry, how should the Steelers and Tomlin kind of approach the future in Pittsburgh? Big Ben has a couple of good points.
Yeah, I think the first thing is let the season play out. This is the team that is contending for the AFC North right now with an opportunity to go to the playoffs, winning the division. Oh, by the way, Matthew Berry, they have a big game versus their rival this weekend, the Baltimore Ravens. So let the rest of the season play out. Now, in reference to what Ben Roethlisberger's talking about, Mike Tomlin is a damn good head coach in my opinion. And I do not believe he's lost that ability. But sometimes when you've been somewhere for 19 years, things might be getting dry a little bit. It might be great for both sides, for the Steelers and their organization, but also for Mike Tomlin if they went their separate ways. But I want all that to be on halt right now until we figure out what the season is going to end like and what it looks like and if they have a chance to win their division.
Yeah, Steelers are not an organization that fires coaches in midseason. They've had 3 in the last however many years, so it's a very stable organization. As for the Steelers' opponent this Sunday, I want to get to Jameson and Lamar Jackson. He's in the midst of a career-worst slump. What can you share about Lamar looking to solve this recent issue?
Yeah, Matt, it starts with more practice time. And I just came from the practice field, and Lamar Jackson is participating in his first Wednesday practice since November 5th. Now, over the last 3 weeks, Jackson has missed practice time because of a growing list of injuries, from his knee to his ankle to his toe. Now, Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton made it clear that no one is pointing the finger at Jackson, even through all of his struggles, saying Lamar is a 2-time MVP for a reason. Even LeBron has an off game.
Yeah, this is unprecedented as well. Since 2018, Lamar has the best regular season record in December and January at 22-4, so he excels at the end of the season. So Harrison Douglas, back to you. What will you be focused on most in this battle for first place in the AFC North?
Yeah, it's going to be the run game of the Baltimore Ravens. They're 5th right now in the NFL versus the run defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we just witnessed on national television that defense, the front 7 of the Pittsburgh Steelers, get pushed around against the Buffalo Bills. 249 yards they allowed on the ground to the running backs and Josh Allen as the quarterback as well. So can you stop that run game or minimize Derrick Henry? We do know Derrick Henry is still a ferocious running back. He's physical, and he can beat you by himself if you allow him to. So when I'm looking at Cam Hayward, I'm looking at TJ Watt, I'm looking at those linebackers. Can those guys stud it up and minimize the run game of the Baltimore Ravens? Because if they cannot, it's going to be another loss on their schedule.
What a fascinating matchup this is. It is a get right for both teams. And Brooke Pryor, at the beginning of her hit, she explained exactly why I would never wear mittens, because my fingers will get claustrophobic because you can't move them. Everyone.
You can. There's space inside the mitten.
You can't. It's like this.
I love mittens.
All right.
Great job, Brooke. We've also got a battle for first in the AFC South with the Colts at the Jags on Sunday. Both teams are 8-4, but going in different directions. Jacksonville has won 4 of 5, while Indy has lost 3 of 4 after a 7-1 start. And don't look now, but the Texans are only a game behind both teams. This division is going down to the wire. Jags coach Liam Cohen spoke on the matchup earlier today. It's new on SportsCenter.
We all kind of know what's riding on these kind of games, right? Division games in December, we're all fighting for it, right? Like, we're all fighting to stay up there and to compete each week to give yourself a chance at the end of the year. But your ops are starting to get a little bit smaller, right? The window is starting to close in terms of opportunities on Sundays. Our players work really hard from all year round for these opportunities on Sunday, and to know that as you get into December, well, you're only getting so many more of these ops. Hey, we got to go seize the moment.
All right, HD, with the AFC South lead up for grabs, what will you be watching when the Jags and the Colts meet?
Well, first, number one, Christine, I am calling this game on ESPN Radio with Steve Levy, so I cannot wait to watch this in person. But you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars the last 3 games, 12 sacks over that 3-game span. Josh Hines Allen, he's really activated after the slow start to begin the year. And then secondly, I'm looking at, Daniel Jones at the quarterback position. We know he has that fractured fibula. It showed up in that game versus the Houston Texans, what he was not able to do. They're not going to call design runs. He can't really move outside of the pocket. They want to protect him as much as possible. They had a 4th and 1, and they had to lean on their tight end Tyler Warren to try to do a tush push from the tight end position under center at quarterback. He fumbled the football. So, how can Daniel Jones really make plays? But then also for this offense of the Colts, we seen 2 weeks ago versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the last 4 drives in the 4th quarter and overtime. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. We've seen the first 4 drives versus the Houston Texans. They didn't score any points. Can you stop having these lapses on offense because you are well balanced running the football and passing the football, but can you minimize these lapses that you've had the last 2 ball games, which in my opinion has led to your defense being on the football entirely too much? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
All right, the Colts looking for their first road win in Jacksonville since 2014, so it's been a minute. By the way, Harry, I love your hat. Yeehaw. Matt has a little bit more for you.
Another massive AFC matchup on Sunday. Texans-Chiefs both find themselves battling for a wild card spot. The Texans have won 4 straight games after starting 3-5, while Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're at 500 after 12 games for the first time since 2017. That's when he took over as starter. The Chiefs, with a loss Sunday, would have just a 12% chance to make the playoffs, that according to ESPN's analytics. Here's Mahomes on facing the Texans defense. It's new on SportsCenter.
Yeah, you got to match their intensity. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, obviously the D-line's good, the linebackers are good, and the DBs are good. But I think what makes them who they are is how hard they play. Every single snap they're flying around and they're trying to make plays happen. They're trying to intercept the football. They're trying to knock the football out. They're trying to make big hits. And so we got to match that intensity as an offense and as a team in order to go out there and get a win.
Harry, really unfamiliar territory, as you heard, for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at this stage of the season. So can they